Hey guys, this is Austin with the Car Scene, and today I have a brand new 2023 Highlander XLE, and I'm going to give you an in-depth full walk around going over everything, the interior, the exterior, the underneath, the mechanics of it, the motor, the pricing, and everything you guys need to know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, guys, so here we are starting on the exterior of this in-depth walk around. This vehicle was provided today by Morgan City Toyota, which I am a proud part of the sales team here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'll be happy to get back to you guys. Full disclosure, I did buy one of these just a few weeks ago. I bought a black one. It's equipped the same exact way with the same interior color. The only difference is the exterior color. I even have the same accessories on my vehicle. So, starting out with the exterior, as always, we'll start with the front end styling on this vehicle. You'll notice the big, huge, prominent grille that you have here. Really gives you a nice look to the vehicle. It reminds you almost of a Lexus in terms of how big the grille is. You'll notice your flat radar cruise control sensor right here, as well as the camera up top, and there is also the dash cam on this one as well. Speaking of the headlights, they do have a big LED daytime running light element along the bottom here. They're not on right now for whatever reason. I think they're turned off in the radio settings. You do have the HID projector beam headlight there as well, and an incandescent turn signal. It's interesting that a lot of the Japanese brands are holding on to the incandescent bulbs for turn signals and reverse lights. I guess it's just a reliability thing. They figure if it burns out, it costs more, so the idea is to just put an incandescent bulb in there. Right below that, you've got the LED fog light that looks really great. And talking about styling, you know, even as an XLE, which is close to the base model, there's only one trim level below this one, that's the LE. It comes with a lot of stuff, and it also looks really great. I mean, when you go up to the XSE, one of the big things you gain is just that this black fascia along the bottom here becomes silver, giving you just, you know, more of a macho look to the vehicle. But, you know, even as it is, I mean, this is a family hauler vehicle. It's not designed to be super, super luxurious or super, super sporty. And this one really does look good, and it comes with a lot of standard features. Coming around to the wheels and tires, this one actually comes with Bridgestone, which is interesting. Mine actually came with Michelin's, and they're only 2 weeks different. So maybe Toyota, you know, has a little bit of a problem with keeping the supplier the same. But they are 18-inch wheels. They are styled pretty cool. They almost have a flower-style shape to them. But definitely tons of sidewall there on the tire that you don't have to worry about curbing those wheels super hard. Looking at the tread, though, it's definitely an efficiency-based tread meant to give you the highest fuel economy, but it's not too terrible. I wouldn't necessarily want to rock those in winter conditions. However, you know, we're in Louisiana, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. Looking at the side of the vehicle, side profile, you know, it looks a lot like other 3 rows in the class, but one of the things that it's really good at is looking rear-wheel drive. You'll notice it has lines swooping up towards the back to kind of make it look like it's raked down along the front, and really gives the car some good-looking hips from behind. You'll notice this 3/4 shot, not a bad-looking car, really has a lot of sport appeal to it. And then coming around to the back, you'll notice a nice little small window there at the top, and then of course your LED taillights there. One thing I wanted to point out to you guys was that these are full LED taillights, but then once again, incandescent turn signal, incandescent reverse lights. So very interesting move. You do have reflectors down at the bottom as well, and you can get a tow hitch on this vehicle from the factory. They typically do it more on all-wheel drive models. This one here is a front-wheel drive model. What's interesting to me, though, is that Toyota doesn't change your tow rating when you go from front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive. They're all 5,000 pounds as long as you have the 2.4-liter turbo. You'll notice your full-size spare tire tucked underneath there as well, and your independent rear suspension there. So it gives you a great ride, and you'll notice those are really heavy-duty beams. So, you know, when they say it can tow 5,000 pounds, to a degree, I really do believe them. I mean, it's really well built underneath. And lifting up the back, there's only one camera on this one. On higher models, you can get 2 cameras for the digital rearview mirror that faces out. Opening up the back. Speaking of which, real quick dealer note. The dealership offers a 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty that's good nationwide, as well as oil changes and inspection stickers for life. So what that means is that, you know, when you buy a new vehicle from this dealership, you're going to get both of those benefits at no extra cost. For the most part, we're also committed to MSRP pricing except for specialty vehicles, which means this Highlander here being a volume unit will sell at whatever the window sticker is or below. In the back here, you've got a cargo net here in the back. You've also got the cargo divider. I really like this. I call this the picnic divider because you've got a cooler on the far right for meats and drinks and milk, whatever else you need. In the middle, you got a covered area where you can put bread and more delicate items. And then on the edge, you've got an area where you can just put potato chips, Cheez-Its, whatever snacks you guys might want to eat. And then, of course, you've got more storage along the sides here. So an absolute buttload of storage back here. And then underneath the floor, you've got even more storage. What's really cool, and I didn't realize this until about a week or two after I got my car, is there's actually one of those roll-out cargo covers tucked under the floor that you can pop right in and start using if you're not somebody who uses the third row a lot, which, by the way, my family is not. We just have it to have it, but the 98% of the time it's folded down, and we've got this cargo net out at the moment, and everything's just pushed kind of to the sides, giving you a nice big cargo area. If you do need the third row, it is a spacious third row. You've got a lot of amenities like air vents, obviously windows, you've got 2 cup holders on each side, and then of course 3 seat belts along the back. So it's definitely a usable third row. There is a bigger Grand Highlander coming out here for 2024, which is going to give you 7 inches more in length, meaning more cargo behind the third row and more actual room in the third row. They advertise an older guy in the back seat, riding next to his presumably grandchild, and it's just a super roomy car. This Highlander's a little bit smaller than the Grand Highlander, but it's still usable for everyday use. Climbing into the back seats though, well, you know what, real quick, I'll show you the fuel door so that you guys can see that from a practical basis. Remember, this is the in-depth review. So you hold that, unlocks the fuel door. You'll hear it clunk too. It makes a very audible noise and then opens right up. There is a fuel door holder here. Tells you don't use anything other than E20, E15 is okay. Just takes regular gasoline though, even though it is a turbocharged vehicle. But yeah, overall on the exterior though, definitely a great looking vehicle. We're going to cut inside to the third row seats. All right, guys, to demonstrate the third row seats, I use the tip and slide feature here, which is nice and convenient. Just pull that up, the seat tips and slides. You've got tons of spots to step into the third row. I did move this seat forward about 2 inches from where it is from the all the way back position, and then I kept it the same amount of lean. So climbing inside, going all the way over, myself at 5'8". I've got a couple inches in front of my knees. My feet, for the most part, are comfortable. It's not a road trip worthy third row, but it's definitely fine for 30, 45 minutes, an hour at the most. And I have air vents above my head. I've got the window to my right, keeping me from getting super claustrophobic. And in terms of headroom, I've got a couple inches of room above my head. So like I said, the Grand Highlander is definitely going to be a bigger third row, but for right now, the Highlander is a good option if you're not going to be using the third row every single day, but it's something you're going to occasionally use, and it's perfectly suitable for young children. No worries there. Let's go cut into the second row next. Hey guys, sorry my mic died. Looking at the rear here, this is exactly how I have my car set up though, with the third row down. I imagine this is how the majority of consumers will keep their car. When you push the second row seats all the way back and recline them a bit, it's actually quite a comfortable area. Like I said before though, that third row is really used for people who just use it occasionally. You can see all the room for cargo that you have, and then of course how comfortable these rear seats can be. Climbing inside, you can see my knees have tons of room. I've got tons of room to my left and to my right, and there's these nice window shades that you can cover up all the sun coming in. Some will call them peasant blockers. Lowering down though, nice soft touch of the elbow. You have the full power window, auto up down, and then the window goes all the way down, as you can see, making kids and dogs and animals super happy. Air vent right above your head, pointing directly into your face, making it nice and cool on a super hot day. Room for 3, potentially at least 2 bottle holders, but maybe 3. Storage in each of the seat backs for things like tablets and such. Related to that though, you've got 2 USB-C ports down below, right there in the middle, easy to plug into and charge up any devices that you may have. And then of course your third zone of climate there in the middle that you can control up from the front. I haven't figured out a way to lock out the climate and leave it on, but you can turn it completely off from the front as well. You can adjust the temperature, the fan speed, the position, pretty much everything right through that center display. You have this nice little center console here with 2 cup holders, as well as a nice little spot for a phone or a tablet. And then, of course, it's not too big, so kids can walk around it as well. You can step on it. You can do whatever you want. It's a super durable, heavy-duty plastic. And then, like I said, the rubberized tray. The seats are full leather, super comfortable seats. Of course, the seat does move forward and back. You can move it all the way forward like I'm doing here. You can see my knees are right up against the first row of seats, but still you can move them all the way back as well, giving you an absolute ton of room. And that's mainly there so that you can give the third row of passengers more space if they need it, or fit even larger cargo if you want to. You can see in the front, you've got your sun roof there with the sun visor. You can get a panoramic sunroof in higher trim levels. Then, of course, the view of the front that looks really, really great there. The big screen, the digital gauges, all the storage up there. Let's go head up front next. My apologies, guys. My microphone died. Just looking at the front door, though, climbing inside, you have passive entry. You also have the nice little film there to protect the inside of the door. Blind spot monitoring, an LED turn signal indicator, and your heated mirrors, of course. Climbing inside, you'll notice on the door we have nice soft touch at the elbow. We also have your power mirrors, power door locks, and power windows, which are all one touch up and down. Door handle up above, and then of course a water bottle storage holder down below. All of the doors, by the way, do have this nice little puddle light just illuminating the ground when you open the door. Looking inside, you'll notice your nice Highlander badge right there. You'll also notice our power seat with power lumbar. These are the full Softex leather seats inside. And then of course you got your Highlander badge along the floor there. On the left side there, we do have our automatic high beams, auto start stop, and then of course the power lift gate. Right below that, nice little area for your wallet, keys, whatever you may have. Then of course you can pop the hood. You'll notice your fuel door button. And then next to that is your odometer trip button, which if you're not familiar with Toyotas can be a little confusing because it's not on the buttons here like it is on a lot of cars. It's right there. So if you need to go between your trips, your odometer, your service, you can see all that as well. Speaking of the interior, you can see your nice big leather wrapped steering wheel. This one is not heated. If it was, the button would be right here for it. You'll notice your light stock, and then of course your wiper stock as well. This one is equipped with the fog lights, and of course we can turn them back to auto. I'll show you the DRLs here shortly. Looking at your gauges though, all of them come with this nice big 7-inch infotainment display, which is extremely handy. You can put your audio on there. One of my absolute favorite features is when you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the directions, regardless of what the center screen is doing, the directions will show up in this gauge cluster when it's time to make a turn. So you never really have to pull it up, mess with it, anything like that. Looking at the rest of the steering wheel, you do have adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, the full safety sense 2.5 plus, which is extremely helpful, and then really simple, easy to read buttons on the steering wheel to understand how to interact with the car. On your climate controls, it is an automatic tri-zone climate. You do have heated seats in here. You also have the windshield defrost that everybody loves with the Toyotas if you're not familiar with that. It's an outside ring that'll go along the bottom of the wipers and defrost the bottom of the actual wipers to keep them from separating in terms of the rubber. This is the 8-inch new infotainment from Toyota. It's the multimedia. It uses Drive Connect as well as other features. One of my favorite parts is the actual preferences. Once you save your profile in here, all of your presets for your radio as well as your setting presets will save, and it will go with you from one Toyota to the next Toyota. So an extremely handy feature, when you're having a lot of different cars, or just when you don't want to change all the settings and all your presets when you get in. You do have 2 air vents as well as your hazards right there. And then of course you have your wireless charger in the middle, which is super nice. Nice big storage pocket. And then of course your storage on the right hand side. Nice soft touch on the dash, by the way, both on the top and the bottom. And then this really cool kind of metallic material right here on the dash that looks good in all sorts of lighting. Up top real quick, I did want to show you the integrated dash cam. That's part of the distributor options. Super handy feature, protects you from any liability when you're out on the road, and it's going to connect to your phone wirelessly, and you can hit the action button or it'll use the impact sensors on the car. So regardless of the type of accident, it will record the incident. Garage link, home link garage door opener right here, and then of course this is an auto dimming mirror, so you can turn that feature on or off. Behind that you've got your sunglass holder / privacy mirror, so you can pull that up and watch the kids if you want. Behind that, you do have the buttons for your sunroof, which is a manual opening shade. You do have the vent as well as the glass, and then the SOS button in the middle. This is the lights for the interior lights, driver light, passenger light, and of course you can just leave it on door, which is what the majority of people will do. You do have 2 different microphones for both the driver and the passenger. There is a really cool feature with this new Toyota multimedia that'll basically, you can say, "Hey Toyota, I'm cold," and it will adjust the climate accordingly based on which side of the car you're sitting on. Up here, your mirror, it opens up. It does have a light above it, which is super handy, that turns on when you open it. And then looking at the switches and gauges in the middle, you do have some USB ports as well as a 12-volt, one with a little storage area that's perfect for your wallet, whatever else you may need. A physical shifter still that has a very physical, tactile feel to it. Super nice shifter, and it does have manual shift option. 2 cup holders next to that. You do have a snow mode, a traction control, a auto brake hold, your parking brake, and then of course different drive modes, eco, normal, sport, as you can read right there. Right behind that, by the way, this armrest / center console, really soft, feels really great. It's gonna hold up for a long time. You do have a shelf in here that slides forward and back. You can remove the shelf if you want to. and you can see all the storage that's in there. You do have a 12 volt in there as well, but very deep. You can store a whole bunch of stuff in there, your purse, wallet, keys, whatever you may need. And then, like I said, on the passenger side, nice little storage nook. You do have all your lights there for your airbags, seat belts, all that stuff. And then, of course, locking glove box with all your books and features in there. I did want to note that those are illuminated. These are the door seals. When you open the door at night, those will light up, give you just an extra little bit of light. That way you can see when you're getting in and out of the car. Looking at the seats though, they are really, really nice seats. They're super, super comfortable, especially for, you know, the second to the bottom trim level. Let's go under the hood and talk about the engine and powertrain next, guys. All right, guys, so here we are underneath the hood of the 2023 Toyota Highlander. And this is a new motor. It's the 2.4 liter turbo. It's found in a bunch of other Toyotas right now at the moment, expected to be in the new Tacoma. What it does is make 310 pound-feet of torque, which is more than the old V6. It also gives you 22 miles to the gallon in the city, 25 combined, and 29 on the highway. So it's an extremely efficient, powerful powertrain, and it gives you a towing capability of 5,000 pounds. You can also option a 2.5 liter hybrid system. Gives you less power, less towing, but way more fuel economy. You're talking 35 and 36 respectively, which is great efficiency numbers. This one is actually my preferred powertrain. It's cheaper, it makes more torque, it can tow more, and it's slightly, in a regard, more reliable, just to a degree, just because there's less moving parts. Looking at your coolant reservoirs, you do have one for your intercooler, one for your actual motor, and then of course the radiator cap there. Oil dipstick right here, little plastic cover, oil fill in the corner, fuses and relays right there. Air intake, air box right there for your air filter, battery right behind that. Notice it's a very tight packaging for this little motor. Turbo is very visible right there in the rear. You can see everything that's going on. There is that little heat shield flap that comes out that I think is a little funny. Your brake fluid, another set of relays and fuses, and then of course your washer fluid, which should be the only thing you have to touch due to the fact that this has a 20-year, 200,000 mile warranty, as well as oil changes and inspections for life. Real quick though, I will show you guys all of the different stickers that are underneath this hood so that you guys can understand everything Toyota wants you to know when you're underneath here. That's everything under the hood on the new 23 Highlander. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, let us know what you want to see next. Let us know what we can improve upon. We're all about making the best quality videos we possibly can. So please let me know what you guys want. Thanks for watching and have a great day, you guys.